And good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Proficiency Bonus here at Monday nights. It's been a little while. We are back with We Met in a Tavern. Before we jump into bring you over to our party, a couple of quick shouts. Thanks to Streamlabs, Team MZ, Many-Sided Dice, and our friends over at Little Dragon Corp. If you haven't checked them out yet, exclamation point Little Dragon in the chat. We'll give you a link to their website. Don't forget to use the discount code BONUS, BONUS, when you check out to get 10% off your order. We've got all sorts of dice there. We keep mentioning their Elemental Kickstarter dice because those are in there now. You can see those, a lot of the little tabletop accessories. Check them out. They got a lot of cool stuff for all your tabletop gaming needs. And with that, we are going to jump over to our players here. And the DM is actually going to remember to unmute them this time.
Yay!
Before we start.
I was gonna ask, cause like, do you unmute us?
You get to hear a lovely voice.
So,
Oh snap! Is that new? Is that overlay different?
yep.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure I got set up so as you guys can see at home. We've got a new layout. Don't worry, the font will change. I just couldn't find one I liked today, so went with a placeholder for the time being. But
I would like to put a request in for Comic Sans, please.
No.
Papyrus?
Papyrus?
join
Dang
us
it!
join us this week when both Bitterjack and Artemis meet an unfortunate death at the hands of a beholder.
If we do meet an unfortunate death, I want my tombstone written in papyrus.
I saw it coming from the first episode.
So now, don't forget, everyone, we do have a Snow Moon with the Nat 20 for this week. Last time our party had made their way over to the Southern Goldenfield Ward to deal with a house, and Bad DM forgot to open his notes at the behest of a leather worker and her husband.
Just for discount.
Yep, for a rather steep discount that Sweet William was pushing for on some, basically on a breastplate. So
Right.
they got sent over without really knowing what they were getting into. But once they arrived and saw what they were dealing with, I think most of the party realized maybe they knew a little more than they let on, as this fight was a little hairier than they were anticipating when they went in. But they managed to win the day against some sort of dark teleporting dog, a strange spider-like creature, and what appeared to be a vampire spawn. The party has made their way out of the house, has gotten themselves back inside the walls of the city, and is currently in a carriage heading over towards, if I remember correctly, the party said they were wanted to head over to an inn, which, let me just find my notes here.
Yeah, let me see.
Where it is? I apologize, my numbers are not in order. So you are heading over to
The crosswords in
the
yes,
Ward, and that is in.
record.
Like
Thank
an
you.
8 or 3 or something.
It's in
11.
11.
Oh, sorry. I'm thinking of like the book
Yeah, you're
list then.
So the book place is in Hydra's Burrow, which is 3. And actually, for those of you who weren't here, as we were going to try to stream last weekend, just schedule got a little confused at the end. For my players, you will notice in the actual map now, over here,
Right.
you actually have a key now to all the different wards.
Mm-hmm.
So the house you're in is the South Golden Fair Ward. You're currently heading back towards this inn in the Brook Ward over in 11. So there were some other things you guys had mentioned you wanted to get taken care of at some point today. I believe Lydia needed to go see a man about an instrument. Artemis wanted to speak with a somewhat interesting character about a book of basically a Demonomicon, Maylie Bailey.
Bailey is the one for the concertina as well. Oh no, that's Viola, who has residence in the Merchant's Ward. Never
Right,
mind.
so that's...
We were
Right.
told not to go speak to him directly, however.
Yeah, you were advised to come back and see Meili, and that you would try to get everything set up for you and get a meeting in place.
Right.
But you were told also that he does reside in the
Merchant's Ward.
in the Merchant's Ward.
Okay.
And then Sweet William, and I think I can't remember if anyone else wanted to go see Cater, who is the leather worker who sent you on that interesting trip.
Yeah, I would like to
Yeah.
go there as well and get some answers.
Yeah.
And maybe the discount.
Just a second here, folks. I've got...
I forget which one touched my bum.
Oh.
The
That
musician
would be
must
Meili
Bailey.
Bailey.
Bailey touched my bum. Alright. Going down the notes.
Just take them away. Sorry about that. I had a strange creature in my ear, and I can hear bags rustling behind me. I'm going, the dog's locked up. Sorry about that, folks.
Okay.
Okay, so currently you guys have just got into your carriage. You're making your way through Upper Heartsgate. What is your first plan of attack? Are you guys planning on stopping at the marketplace first, or are you going straight to the inn? Or are there other plans you have?
What time of day is it?
Did I collect on my studded leather armor?
No, you did not yet.
No.
No, and you didn't ask for studded leather. You asked for a breastplate specifically.
I asked
Yes,
for a
you did.
breastplate.
So that's why they sent you on this task. They offered to sell you studded leather for the normal price, but you said you were looking for a breastplate, which was
Yeah.
good. I want to say it was like 450 gold.
It
But
was
you
a
tried
lot
to
of
negotiate.
money.
Yeah, you tried to negotiate that price down, so they agreed to give you a rather steep discount on that purchase if you went and dealt with this. And I believe
Right.
Bitter Jack stole was a wolf's head, correct?
Yes, I have a mounted wolf head.
Like on your
No,
head.
No, like
Not
the
yet.
backpack.
Oh,
Wolf
on a
hat,
placard.
wolf hat, wolf hat.
It may
Bet
or
your
may
ass
not
I
be
got plans for a
animated.
wolf hat.
Okay. Can I purchase my discounted breastplate if I'm able to?
So you guys are...
We're deciding where to go, and I think going back to that place and getting some answers is a good idea.
Me too. They weren't too upfront with us with everything.
Well, they said
The
they
whole-
didn't know, and I wonder if they actually knew and were too afraid we'd turn it down if they told us.
Should we tell them that we stake their ancestors?
maybe, perhaps, depending on what they say to us.
Alright. We'll keep that in our back pocket then.
Jack, are you sure that's wise to be wearing around these people? As it's from their house?
You mean their house that we just killed a bunch of monsters in?
Yes.
You'll be fine.
I mean, we do have a bag that we could put it in, but...
This is also true.
No, my idiot brother managed to get himself a whatever for his trouble, but no one has negotiated the fee with me. So I
You
think
hear
So
how
you
she
feel-
talks to me?
So you steal from their house and sell them back their own item?
no, this is mine now.
You steal from their house and you proclaim something as your own item?
It's usually what
yes,
stealing is,
This
yes.
is correct, I think. This is sound
Alright.
like the accurate.
Alright.
Let's go and see what they have to say for themselves and get ourselves some new armor.
Okay, so it takes you probably a good about 35, 45 minutes, even with the carriage, given the distance you're traveling through and going through the streets that'll fit this vehicle. But eventually you guys find yourself getting out at the outskirts of the marketplace. Make your way back over to the leatherworker's shop. As you come up there, you see it appears that The husband is not there currently. Right now, the tanning rack is unmanned. You can see Cater's standing there and seems to be working with a couple of people. Looks like it's going to be a few moments before she can speak with you guys. Anything you'll be doing in the couple of moments while she's finishing up with her current customer?
I'd like to look. So they're are they like exclusively a tannery and leather worker, or is there like fur pelts and things in this?
You can see they don't do a whole lot with metal. So you can see there's a bunch, not as much in terms of cloth, but you do see some like cloth robes, things of that nature. You do see a lot of furs and leather work, though.
Okay, I am specifically perusing their wares to see if they have a pelt closely enough matching the color of the wolf head that I currently have on my back.
Oh, okay.
That's oddly specific there.
Doesn't have to be wolf. I'm pretty little, so it can probably be just as long as it's the right color. Just got to be large enough to fashion a cloak out of.
Like a rabbit stole or something.
Yes.
So as you look at, you do see a couple of things that you're pretty sure would do the job, do what you're looking for. And again, it's not an exact match, but anyone more than 5 or 6 feet away really wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Okay.
A couple of minutes goes by, she finishes up, looks up at the group of you. Well, I'll be you all came back. Decided against going in, I assume.
Oh, we went in. We found some shite there, though, that we'd like to talk to you about.
Yes, a couple of us are worse for wear, but yes, we did go in.
Well, aren't you just something special then? And you all made it back out, which is
I don't like that.
interesting.
What do you mean it's interesting that we made it all out? You didn't have trust in us.
No, it's... My father-in-law and his mercenaries couldn't get it done, so I would expect a few of you with smaller people to be able to do anything.
Now that's very rude of you.
Well, excuse me.
In Halfling, I just go to Jack, I go to William. Did she just say something racist? That sounded racist to me.
Perhaps. Oh, I don't know what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, as in Halfling.
Okay.
Sizist, but not. Now, you're sure you didn't have any idea what was going on in that house?
No, I haven't been there in years.
Well, we didn't find any mercenaries there, but we did find a giant spider. We found a creepy dog that could not be tamed, that blinked in and out of existence seemingly. And well, yeah. You got to scary basement there.
That hardly seems worth... I suppose. A deal is a deal, even if it was only a spider and a dog.
Well,
I'll just take this out of my husband's cut then.
what my friend here is not really sure that you would appreciate to hear, but we also
Oh, the poltergeist in the kitchen. Is that what you're talking about?
We also found the father, who was in fact, as far as we could tell, dead.
Oh, my father-in-law is... Well, we had assumed he was dead. It had been many years since he had gone in.
There was only him and no sign of the people that he brought with him.
Well, If the house is clear, that is all my concern was for.
Unfortunately, I mean, we would have at least told you, there's remains to be buried, but unfortunately he was just too mangled to do anything with.
Something that is best for all involved, I suppose.
Would you happen to know a woman that had sandy blonde hair that wore fancy garb?
Asking for no particular reason.
As she just sort of gestures wildly at the marketplace.
Oh,
But walk around for a few minutes, I'm sure you'll
personally.
find someone.
No,
Have a
I
rather
meant
particular
personally.
taste in ladies, I see.
Lydia,
no,
it's
not me.
fine. Just no,
I-
please. And Art is viciously tugging on Lydia's like hoping, like, no, stop.
Okay. Well,
Well, she may have a newfound desire, but don't pay any mind to her.
and your kitchen is weird. And I stomp off.
It sort of looks and it hasn't been used in years, so it reaches down under there and looks over at Sweet William, pulls out the breastplate. So, as we discussed, this was originally 400 gold. Given your successful defeat of a spider and a dog, I'll sell it to you for 125.
Very well. A pleasure doing business with you. I enjoy cleaning up other people's messes.
I also slapped down that pelt that I had been looking at on the counter, and I go, also this.
Just take it. It's only worth 10 gold.
I turn around and walk out.
I would happily purchase some studded leather from you.
Oh, well, then goes back under and pulls out that same set that she had shown you prior. Which had the little tool designs on it. Here's what we were discussing before. It'd be 45 gold if you're interested in it.
Oh dear.
Even without, the promised percent off that you said before, I'll take it. Because it's a very beautiful piece of work, I must say.
She takes the 45 gold from you, doesn't even acknowledge the comment. And hands you over the armor. She does not seem, even without a, like you all can tell, she does not seem happy with the answers you provided on what was in there, given how much she agreed to pay. Or rather, discount.
Jack, as everybody else finishes their purchase and makes their way out, Jack is kind of standing in the street waiting for them with a very confused expression on her face. Once
Sweet
everybody
woman.
has piled out, she's like, I am not understand, but it is unlike we are not tell the woman the correct information. What is for this?
I mean, do we want to try and figure out what that was we found inside the coffin? Or if not, I guess.
Also, I'm not sure if I mentioned this to you, but the father-in-law that we saw in the coffin that was dead was a lot younger than what he appeared to be in the portrait upstairs.
Yes.
He was monster. He was, she makes a fang gesture. This is why we not, I do not understand why we not tell her this and be on our way. Our job is done.
I just wanted to get out of there with the armor that Sweet William wanted. I mean, if you want to go back and tell her whatever, that's fine with me.
She kind of shows says, I do not care. I am just confused as to why. I do not understand why it is that we would not want her to know what the truth of the information is. No?
Well,
Yes,
maybe
I-
we could come across somebody here that would know more about monsters and maybe, of the more sinister kind. Not just like goblins, but like demons or devils. Or, I don't know, more sentient monsters.
Okay, I still am not know why we do not tell her this, but it is fine. I have. She pats the wolf, like the wolf head on her back, and her bolt of fur. She goes, I have what I want.
Fine with me, and whatever the group wants to do.
I come back and I'm eating more meat. I go, I hope it went well.
We got our stuff. Now, this is technically the same day that we met the musical lady.
Yep.
Mhm,
Yeah.
so you'll have to go back tomorrow.
So
She said to give her a
check
day.
out that bookstore that we found out about and go log ourselves in the inn.
Alright.
Okay, so heading up to, where did my... I had lost my, key for some reason.
Yeah, it is now.
Wonderful. Alrighty then. So that'll have to get fixed for next time, because, yeah. So we're heading up to, Hydrosboro, roll 20. I don't love you anymore. That was very mean of you.
Yeah.
As you are heading up, heading up to the Hydrosboro to locate your bookstore. So who is taking point on this? As you've been given rough information on where a bookstore would be up in that area.
I would say, wouldn't Artemis be the one that would be looking for it?
Yes, I would be.
Oh, okay. So go ahead and make a survival check with advantage, as you've been given some decent information on where you're going, but...
Oh boy. 14.
Oh, okay. So once, again, you guys head out of the market, grab a carriage, make your way over, and get dropped off in the in Hydrosboro. It takes you about 20-25 minutes of sort of wandering around the different side streets to locate this place. Eventually, you come to a storefront down one of the side alleys, and on the outside, you see a wooden sign hanging that looks like it's a clover leaf, or like a clover. But instead of the normal 3 or 4 leaves, this one seems to have 7 leaves on the front of it. And strange scrawled writing on the glass window reads, "The 7-leaf clover."
Oh, interesting. It could be very lucky or maybe unlucky. Artemis will kind of like go up, and before they like enter the shop or anything, I guess they'll just like press their face up against like if there's like any sort of display and kind of like look in.
Yep, so they've got probably about a 2.5-3 foot wide window next to the door. So as you lean up, put your face against it, and then you look in, you can see that there is just all down just one side of this shop is just nothing but floor to ceiling bookshelves.
Voice.
As you're looking through, though, you do see some other almost like smaller, I won't call them aisles, but like little displays in the middle of the store. And you can see what looks to be, one has small, like, almost looks to be taxidermy animals on it. Another seems to have stones or some sort of, like gemstones or crystals on it. seem to sell a wide variety of different things. But again, what catches your eye is that entire, looks like from front to back of the store on that left-hand side is just bookshelves.
I am in there like aquatic apparel. I go in.
That's amazing.
Okay, so Artemis is in like a bikini.
In there like swimwear, you
Oh,
know?
okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got it.
Oh, I feel old.
I got it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, anyone else doing anything while Artemis is charging headfirst into the store? Is everyone going in, or?
I'll go in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
I'll
follow
go
in
in
as well.
Oh,
What else
okay.
is around this shop?
Waywards and vagabonds, probably.
Yeah, as you're looking around, what else do you have you noticed in here? On the main drag, so not on this side street itself, but out on the main drag, about a half a block back the way you came from. You notice there was a rather large building called the Guild Hall. Seems to be a meeting hall for the local groups from this ward. Other than that, there's you saw a couple of smaller like taverns and restaurants as you pass by. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot right in this area.
Jackie, look, the guild hall. Mayhaps we can see if they have a notice board.
Jack kind of looks at the bookstore, shuffles her feet a little bit. Let us go for the notice board.
All right.
Okay. So we got Furia, Lydia, and Artemis heading in. William and Jack are heading over to the Guild Hall. What are you doing, Snow Moon?
Yeah, he'll follow into the 7-leaf clover as well.
Okay. So then we will start in the shop with Artemis and the group as you guys head in. First thing you notice as you walk in is the counter on the right-hand side towards the back of the store. You can see, as you get in, Lydia, you notice this immediately. Just given you're the tallest out of the group. As you walk in, all of these displays are shorter than you necessarily expect. As you all start to move in, you see a gentleman in the far back behind the counter. Short brown hair, bright golden eyes. Looks to have sort of modest gray robes hanging around his shoulders. As he walks in, as you walk in. Oh, hello! How are you doing today? How can we be of assistance to you? Welcome to the 7-leaf clover.
Hello there. We're interested in.
You are
your-
this large. As he comes walking out, and he stands about 3.5 feet, if we're being generous.
Ah, dang it.
Okay. So I look down. I'm like, thank you, for noticing, books, Artemis.
Oh, right, yes. Hello.
Oh, hello. So you are the one who can read.
Oh, but,
Actually, I haven't actually asked if any of them can read. Probably, perhaps, maybe. We'll have to check on that. But,
I can read. I think
good to
Furia can
know.
Sort of reaches over and very patronizingly pets Lydia's knee.
read. Thank you kindly.
Now, I know this is a little bit of a long shot, but barring another source that I might have waiting in the wing, anything to do with monsters, demons, or spooky things.
Well, this... What are you looking for? What are you trying to do?
Simply acquire knowledge. We've run into some things, and I didn't understand what they were, and I'd like to. Oh, and maybe some paper and ink, but that's on the tail end
That
of
is
it.
easy. That we can do that for you in a moment. But you all wait here. Make sure the bigger ones don't break anything. I will be back for a moment. And
You got it.
Sort of comes, run around and goes out into the back room. You can hear, slight beads shaking as he goes running into the back area of the shop.
Do I break things often that I don't even know about?
No, Lydia, I think it's just us gnomes aren't exactly accustomed to. Oh,
Now is he being sizist?
you know what? Touche.
So Furia is not with the group at the front counter. She sort of went into a side hallway of books and has been taking off books, opening them, paging through them, smelling them, and then sticking them back on the shelf, just at random.
Okay.
So many books, it's wonderful. And when she gets bored of that, she will wander over and take a look at whatever's on these displays.
Okay.
And at this point, Snow Moon, he's just kind of like drifting through the aisles, just kind of slowly browsing. But he's not taking anything off the shelf. He's just kind of looking around.
Okay, Furia and Snowmoon, roll a D100.
Okay.
What kind of taxidermied animals are there?
Oh yeah, I'm surprised Jack didn't want to come in. With all the heads.
71.
I'm sorry, what'd you roll, Snowmoon?
71.
Oh, okay, and Furia?
58.
Okay. So, Furia, one of the last books you sort of pick up and fan through and just, and take a quick look at is called Midwifery. Seems to be, more of a medical book of what a midwife can expect during labor and birth. And then Snowmoon, as you're flipping through, as you're just sort of walking around looking, one of the things that happens for some reason to catch your eye is a book called Samuel's Seminal on Slugs.
Interesting.
I love it.
As you're
Furia
not
almost drops her book and then quickly closes it, sort of blushes a little bit, and moves on.
Snow Moon kind of, so this book catches his eye and he kind of cocks his head and studies it for a second. And he'll take it off the shelf and flip through a couple pages and just out of idle curiosity.
It doesn't seem to have a huge amount of information that you think would be helpful to you as you flip through a couple of pages. It's basically talking about different types of slugs that can be beneficial in farmland. As you're flipping through, it doesn't seem like it would be much help.
I should start a slug terrarium.
He'll just close it and slide it back into its spot on the shelf. And just keep looking around.
Okay, Lydia, to answer your question as we're wrapping up with what he's doing on the back, is as you start looking at the taxidermy animals, you can see a couple of cats, a couple of birds, a couple of what look to be like very oversized plump rats.
Taxidermy. Huh. Never thought taxidermy and plump rat. How about that?
And then a few moments later, you hear the beach ruffle again as this small halfling comes running back out with 3 or 4 books in his hand. Comes over, back around the counter and sets them down. And the person says, so, you said you were looking for information, so the first one, it is released, the author claims to be big important person in Waterdeep. It's called Volo's Guide. He goes and draws strange. Some people like it, some don't. This 35 gold for this one. Next one we have is called Demigods of the Outer Planes. Deals with all manner of, shall we say, entities from the abyss and the planes of chaos. Could be an interesting read for you.
Thought it was going to be Mordekainen's.
Sets it down, and that one is 25 gold. Now, this one you must be careful with, and I do not know if you can handle this. You seem rather naive. But
No offense taken yet.
this one is, well, as he sort of shows you the binding on it, as you can see, the title on it has worn away. As he sort of opens it a little bit and flips a couple of pages through it. And as he's not really keeping it open long enough for you to be able to read, you, Artemis, do recognize the lettering in it. It is the same as what you saw on the outside of Maylie Bailey's book. So as you watch it, and you catch an odd word here or there. Now, this is one that has been in the possession of my shop for the better part of 30 years. I cannot let this one go for any less than 100 gold.
100 gold. No, I do understand the price.
He sets it on top of the other 2 books in front of you.
Well, I think we should at least get this Volo's Guide, so we know what we're up against. What do you think?
No, they do all sound very useful. Art is kind of like slightly pawing at the last book. Yes, right.
So you're reaching out and you're touching the book?
A little bit.
Make a wisdom save.
Oh god.
Oh, shit! 16.
You feel like you start to feel this draw to the book. Like there's something about this book that you almost feel like it's reaching out, like it wants you to buy it. But you sort of manage to shake it off.
Well, that was fun.
What was fun?
Nothing, don't worry about it. My wonderfully tall companion.
Alright.
They're going to reach into their bag of many trinkets and bips and bobs, and they are going to pay for all 3 books.
Wow.
Okay. As Shopkeep takes it from you and... Well, it has been a pleasure doing business with you.
Quite. For you as well. May I ask your name in case we are back sometime during this stay?
Oh, I do not think you will be back, but you may call me Rich.
All right then. I thank you very much for the knowledge.
And I thank you. It will be... I wish you well on your journeys.
Art looks very happy. And they probably scurry out of the bookshop and kind of like flip through a couple of the books and then tuck them into their bag.
Alright.
You watch as he just sits back down, leans back on the stool behind the register, just looking at the rest of you.
Oh, we're still there.
Unless you're
sorry.
following her out.
I'm gonna follow Artemis out.
Yeah, I would take a look at the displays and see if there's anything interesting.
Given your love of animals, you see some rather lovely preserved animals that... Cats, rats, a couple of small birds.
Probably not preserved, just the best.
I definitely admire the skill in, creating such a thing. And I sort of hang around until, everybody else... Make sure I'm the last one out, sort of thing.
Okay, Snowmoon, anything you'd be doing at the end?
Snowmoon's out of Discord.
Oh.
Yeah, he just dropped out of Discord.
Oh,
He's returned.
he's back.
Sorry, I'm just having audio
No
issues.
worries. Anything else you'd be doing is... Artemis has just finished up their shopping trip. Looks like everyone's getting ready to head out.
So as I'm walking through the aisles, is there are the books separated by sections, or is everything just kind of jumbled together?
No, it looks like it's mostly just sort of jumbled together in a mismatch.
Yeah,
You can ask him if you can ask Rich if there's something in specific you're looking for, but
not really. He sees Artie walked out the door, so he'll just follow behind.
okay. That leaves Fury as the last one then.
Alright, so I'm just going to sort of shuffle. She's not really sure if she should be talking to this person without Art here, but we'll dig out her ring out of her pocket and show the symbol on top to him and say, have you ever seen this symbol before? I'm looking for information on it.
So he comes walking over and looks down at it. Takes a couple of moments here and give me a second to check something here. Okay. As he looks down a couple of minutes, looks back up at you, looks down a little bit more. No, I have never seen such a thing before in my life. Perhaps there are others who have been here longer who may have more information for you.
Can you point me in their directions?
Assuming you are lucky enough to get a visitation with her, the Lady Daracine.
I have heard she's been around for quite a while.
Well, you know them. Half-breeds like her, they tend to live a long time.
Yeah, they can. So, half-elf, then, you're thinking?
Have something.
Interesting. Well, I will do my best, because I've been looking a long time to find out what this thing means.
I think the lady will be your best bet here.
Well then, thank you for your help. And very awkwardly will turn around and leave the store.
As you get to the door, you hear, "And good luck with your friend."
I just sort of wave cheerfully, not really knowing what on earth he's meaning. Oblivious. Yeah, I'll leave and look for them in the street.
Okay, so as you all are coming out of the store, we will jump over to the siblings. Who, now actually siblings, would you have told the party where you were heading to before they all went in, I'm assuming?
I didn't.
Oh, I was assuming that was happening as we were parting.
Okay. Nope, that's just for you. Want to make sure because I wasn't clear. So, yeah. So if this is all happening while you guys were parting, so you guys take the walk. It's only about a 3 or 4 minute walk, if that. It's a couple of buildings down to the end of the street. You take a right, and Guildhall's a couple of buildings down. First thing you notice as you start heading down that direction, and you get to the front of the Guildhall, is just there's 6 or 7 steps leading up to these massive double doors on it. Doors are wide open. On either side of the doors are these carved stone sculptures that look to be griffins. Both of them wings at the side, down on all fours, but mouths opened up, facing like a 45-degree angle towards the opening.
Sweet William whistles and says, "Look at the size of those stairs."
You are impressed over their stairs?
Look at them, the finest stairs in all of the islands.
I do not believe I shall ever understand you. What about, she just points at the first thing she sees. About that signpost. Is it the finest signpost in the city?
No, the signpost is shit.
Oh, what about the drunk man laying in a pile of his own shit over there? Is that the finest drunkard in the city?
He looks like a good time.
Your criteria confuses me. Well, let us go. What is it we are doing here?
Notice board. We should head inside if it's on the outside of the guild hall.
Oui, it is. I hope it is a fruitful endeavor. I am. You know, in the back of your head, you have a sort of a feeling. I am having the feeling that perhaps when we did not go into the bookstore, there was the one guy in this whole city that I could have talked to was probably in there, and now we are here. But it's a very specific feeling that I am having. I don't know why.
I give you my sympathies for your feelings. We can find you some medicine later.
Very well. Let us see what is on the notice board. Perhaps there is a coin to be made in this town. Besides whatever it is we are planning to do at the fancy lady's house.
Yes, my thoughts exactly.
You guys make your way up the stairs. You can see as you walk in, first you notice is it looks like at the far end of the hallway there's another massive set of what look to be bronze doors. On either side of you leading down this hallway that's about 75 to 100 feet long, there's another 4 doors on either side that seem to lead into smaller rooms. About 10 feet in, you do see what looks to be like a we'll call it a notice board that gives basically like "you are here" style. Tells you where the different rooms are and a couple of different things on it. You do see a couple of things posted down at the bottom of it. The thing that catches your mind, your eyes as you guys are first walking up to this board, is it seems like each one of these smaller rooms on the two sides are for a different trade guild within the city. So you can see that there's, on the left-hand side, there's metal workers, stone workers. Hold on, where did my notes go? Just lost my, I lost my place on my screen here. Yeah. Metal workers, stone workers, the smiths. The last one seems to be left empty for whatever reason on the left-hand side. Then on the right-hand side, you have the merchants, the farmers, the nobles, and then the dock workers on the farthest door. And then it seems like according to this board, the large double bronze doors at the end are where the leaders of these. Again, it says 8, but there's no listing for the fourth door on the left. The leader of these 8 guilds meet to discuss issues within the city. As you're scanning through and looking at the different things, the couple of posts that you've noticed that people have put up there. One of them seems to be a post from the lady Darrison herself, stating that she's looking for people to deal with a potential multiple murderer. So, according to the note, there have been a couple of murders committed within the city. She's looking for people who are willing to deal with said problem for her.
Is that the same lady that owned the house?
No, this is the lady Erliza Dereston, the Viceroy of the entire city, the rich woman whose house she's supposed to rip off. Or,
wow.
trade to get the item if she's the one who has it.
All right. Wow. Huh. That could be useful.
So as you're looking at it, you're thinking, that could get us in. You do see a couple of other things that are posted on there, but it's nothing too huge. A couple of people posted for lost animals. A couple of missing people.
Take the bill.
Reports, but
I take the bill off the notice board, and fold it up, put it in my pocket.
What is it on this paper that you take?
Oh, sorry, I forgot you can't read. The lady that we are seeking out, she posted this bill. She's looking for some murderers, and this is a potential in.
This is good. It was good we came here then. What is... it looks like there is craftsmen in this building, yes?
Okay.
What is the door where there are those who are is there tinkerers, metal workers, arcanists? No, what is words that I am looking for? What do they say? Artificer? Is there one of them in here?
I double checked the board.
There is a listing for the Metalworkers Guild. It's the first door on the left.
First door on the left. This is there.
Okay. I will be right back. And I run off towards that door.
I'll be outside smoking a cigarette.
Okay, we are French. Very good. Bye.
Did you know that we're friends?
As you
Oui,
go
come on,
running over,
okay.
you open up
With
the
my
door and
big-
Hon, hon,
you
hon.
see right as you open this door, the first thing that hits you is just that sort of smell of hot metal. As your door opens, you can see they've got a couple of windows open in the far end of the room. But you can see there's definitely small, what looks to be like a forge set up in the back end of the room. A couple of burly-looking humans down on the forge, and you can hear the bing, bing, just hammer on metal at the far end. Sitting closer to you, you see a sort of shorter, mousy-haired, sort of like grayish-brown hair, very square face, big, like, Coke bottle thick glasses on her face, 2 gloves on her hands, sort of bent over working. There looks to be some sort of like small mechanical contraption, just sitting at a desk looking at it through a little magnifier.
Okay. I will move over towards this woman and I will wait patiently for her to finish her tinkering, unless it takes longer than like 15 seconds, and then I will get bored and I will go.
And does you yes, yes, hi. How can I help you?
Yes. Hello. I am. They are calling me Jack.
My name is Mara.
Mara. It is pleasure to make your acquaintance, Mara. I am apologize. There is my command is not the best of. She sort of like resets herself as she's become flustered. She's, Mara, you are work on something that is look complicated. I am think that perhaps you are a good person to talk to about the what is the put together the making.
Yes, that's. Yes, I like to build things, so that's why they keep me here.
She kind of scans over the room at the people collected again. She looks back. She says, "You are best at this."
She looks around at everyone else. Not that any of them will admit it. It's they don't like to admit that someone like me can do it better than them.
Good. She pulls out one of the pistols from the holster and like sets it on the desk.
And you watch as the eyes almost double in size as she looks down. What? I've never. May I?
You may, but take care.
And he sort of picks up and looking at eyes and, Bugs Bunny style, picks up and looks down the barrel. Wherever did you get one?
That is sort of a complicated story. What is important is I have what is it when you have a goal, but it is you have no choice?
You have a task you must do.
Oui, close enough. I need to make more like this, but different.
Well, might you have 20 minutes or half an hour for me to put some sketches together? I'd be happy to see what I can try to design and come up with.
And she just like turns around in common and she goes, Willem! There's a lady with terrible eyesight that wishes my weapons and draw them. It will be 20 minutes.
I take a large drag and stub it out. And then walk back in. What did you say?
She points to the woman. She says, I am asking her about the sisters. She is perhaps help me. She would like to do schematics. She says she require 20 minutes or so.
All right. Would you like to stay here? And I should tell our friends where to find us.
Oui, I will. If they are off somewhere else and it is they do not wish to wait, I will meet you all at the ship later. But this is where I shall be.
All right. And I kind of give a nod to the lady and then walk out.
She hasn't even really turned to look at you. She's still just sort of holding the gun. Just and at that minute you give your approval, immediately a couple of pieces of parchment come out. She just starts sketching out, picking it up, looking at it again, putting it under the magnifier. Looks like she's going to be taking a little bit of time to get a sketch out of this. So,
and a couple of points of order for her, for her notes. Despite the fact that it is like, kind of like it's essentially like a 4-barreled flintuck pistol in design. These particular weapons don't have like, they're not loaded with like powder and shot in any discernible way.
Right.
And Jack has a bunch of very specific specifications that she does her best to like convey to this woman as to what she wants to recreate. Is something similar to this, but much longer. That can fire over like a considerable distance.
So she gets over the next like 20 to 30 minutes, she gets a pretty good rough sketch down of the pistol she's been looking at. And then you can see she starts sketching out some very general ideas following what Jack sort of brokenly filling into her. Gets a couple of ideas down. Says, well, okay, this should give me something to start with. Give me a day or so to actually put some concrete thoughts down. Let me see what I can try to come up with beyond these. You've given me a project worthy of my talent.
Jack kind of nods and takes her quill or whatever it is she's been sketching with, pencil, whatever it is. And under like one of the schematics, she, in like a very childish scrawl, writes 4 letters in common. B, A, D, B. She just kind of sets the quill back down and points at it. She says, "That is her name."
I shall see what I can do for design and check back with me in a day or two, and I'll see if you approve of the design I've come up with for you.
Nods. Very good. Takes her one pistol back and slots it back into the holster.
And you watch the entire time you do, the eyes just follow every motion you're making. And she just, again, the minute you put it away, and back down to the sketches, and it seems like she's refining the drawing she did of the existing pistol first.
There is perhaps, as she's kind of parting, if you are not yourself adeptus with the magic, it is perhaps someone who might be required.
She turns her head and cocks a little bit, and I suppose we'll discuss that more once you see what I've concocted for you. I do have some skill, but depending on what you're looking for, then yes, we may need some assistance, but there aren't too many very powerful magic users within the city. Lady Darrison is not a huge fan of most mages.
Not a fan of mages, eh? This is,
Not most. There's some that she approves of, but...
Well, if I ever come across this lady you speak of, I shall, I don't know, tell a dirty joke about the mage. Maybe she like...
She chuckles a little bit. And she probably would, but it is difficult to see her. But I will get back to my drawings, and she goes back down and continues and moves over onto a second sheet, and you can see she's doing more. And just sheets are starting to fly now. She seems to be scrawling out all manner of different ideas she's got piling through her head. About this time as you're heading out, your party is probably just caught up, has been talking with with William out front for a couple of minutes after their shopping excursion, and the party finds themselves reunited. Still probably early afternoon. It's probably just a little while after lunchtime between the traveling you've done and couple of stops you've made. Got a little bit of time left in the rest of the day. What are you looking to do?
That shopkeeper seemed concerned about you.
They what?
Well, when I left, he said good luck with your gnome, and he seemed very concerned that, something might happen to you. I don't know what, but maybe he likes you. Maybe he's hoping you're going to come back and buy more books.
I think he's just sizes.
But isn't Art the same size?
Yeah, he didn't like me, but he likes art.
Yes, I'm actually shorter. Oh.
He treated me fine.
Art kind of flips through the books
You're not a huge person. You're
that they got.
Well,
Okay.
Again,
compared to
I
a
guess.
gnome, I'm still quite large, but
Taller than I am. Anyway, Art, maybe you can flip through those on the way to an inn?
Sure.
William, did you find what you were looking for?
Yeah. Jackie is speaking to a crafter inside. And look what I got. And I reach into my pocket and I unfurl the bill that was posted. We are looking to get in league with the Viceroy, right? This may be our ticket
Right.
in.
Not a bad idea.
Yes, if we can get in and speak with her, or at least somebody representing her. Getting through the gate is the first step in this whole operation.
Well, if we round up these murderers, maybe she'd be in debt to us. Say,
I also learned that she's not fond of mages.
So,
Sorry, Art.
no mages, or just? I mean, does she play favorites? I
She
can't see a
say,
city running without any.
She says that it is some that is she like, but she says that the lady Derazin is not not care for mages generally. Perhaps only we say not too much about magic if we do not have to.
I wonder if she's a mage herself.
I would reckon. Didn't we know that she was me?
Well, when I was talking to the shopkeep in the bookstore guy, and he mentioned that she was half of something, and I said half elf, and he didn't really say yay or nay, but if she's not, how has she managed to stick around so long?
Right. Well, she collects arcane stuff. I think that should be aligned to it at least a little.
Maybe if she is
Never know.
as you say, maybe if she is mage, as you say, it is she's what is
Using
she,
magic
turns to William. She's like, "What is the word for jealous in common?"
Green eye monster.
And she points. That she is.
Well, we should at least go inquire about this person wanted for murder, and we can start from there.
Do you want to do that today? And get the ball rolling? I mean, it's getting later in the evening. I'm not sure how long this lady would be taking audience.
Perhaps we could wait to the morning and then head to her palace.
Should we look for these murderers tonight, or just wait till
We-
tomorrow?
Don't have any information until we go speak to people about it.
Oh,
Was there any info on the bill, or simply just that someone was wanted?
You can read it yourself.
Yeah, as you're scanning over it, it just says that there have been multiple homicides within the city, and that the lady is looking for somebody to deal with it.
all right.
Hands it back.
Perhaps when we do go and deal with this, to err on the side of caution, should we go under a pseudonym, or perhaps say we are with some other group than our captain?
I don't think we should mention the captain at all. We're our own group. And we're a band of people looking for jobs. We saw this notice. We're taking on the job. Easy as that.
Unless you think, Art, that she will ask for our names before giving us the job.
What's wrong with giving her our names?
I'm not sure what you're saying there.
I just don't want to be tied to anything if anything goes wrong.
We're going to be investigating murders, according to her. She doesn't need to know anything else.
Okay.
We're not going to tell her that we're planning on, seeing as how we're in the middle of a street, she doesn't really want to say.
Trade.
Alright, supper, bed.
Sounds good to
It
me.
might take us a while to get to that inn.
And a good bit of reading for the afternoon.
Cross swords, right, in the book ward. True.
Yeah, so you guys, given your general knowledge of the city from the little bit of time you spent there, you know that it's between a quarter of a mile and a half a mile away. And you can walk it if you really want to. It'll take you a while, or you can hire a carriage.
Let's just walk it.
Okay. And takes you
It's a
guys...
nice walk.
Again, following the streets, you can get there through the couple of routes that you actually know that people have told you about. It takes you about an hour to get there.
Okay.
As you're walking down the street in the brick ward, it's impossible to miss. As you're walking up and you see all these other, regular, just sort of square and geometric buildings. And then standing about 25 feet back off the street with a gray and black marble walkway leading from the street up to this door is a massive circular white tower. White marble, slight gray striations, looks to be about 150, 200 feet tall. As you get up about 75, it actually branches out, and there are 3 spires at the top of the tower.
Nice.
Start walking towards the front doors. You see there are 2 large, heavy black doors with what appear to be 2 silver sword emblems crossed on the front of it.
Does this place seem to be fancy?
Well, they did tell us it was more expensive than the whatever it was, person ghost and purse.
Oh, wonderful. I could use a nice back crack in a bath.
Maybe they'll have a bed that fits you.
Exactly.
Well,
it could just
he's
be
just
dropping
standing
dead
here.
back to my diagonal, but that spooky place, I couldn't ask anything.
The cat was wonderful, I'll have you know.
Didn't get to talk to him. Her. It. They.
Alright, Fury's going in.
Okay. I'll go in behind Viria.
Okay, as you walk in, you see immediately upon walking in, just a small wooden floor, like dark wood floors leading into a large counter, and then 2 closed doors on either side seem to lead further within. Standing behind the counter, average height, very sort of long, pointed jaw, shoulder-length copper hair, brown eyes, wearing bronze robes with black swirls throughout them. Looks to be a fairly young human woman. Sitting on her right shoulder is a black raven.
Cool.
What's with people's in hotels having pets?
As you walk in, well, greetings and welcome to the Crossed Swords. My name is Enith. I am your hostess this evening.
Hi there, Enith. We'll be needing some rooms and probably some supper.
Well, we can certainly get things taken care of for you. Well, you are a mite large. I think we may have a room with a bed big enough for you. Maybe just shy, just a little small. You may be hanging off a bit on the end.
Wonderful!
It is not often we get people quite as vertically successful as you are.
I'll take it. I like your tone.
We should have no problems with the rest of you. But,
I love that turn.
Let's see, 6 of you, so that would be 5 gold apiece for the rooms for the evening.
I'll slide her 5 gold.
It's,
Art raises their hand.
yes.
Could I perhaps room with one of these lovely companions? Just to perhaps save on gold?
Well, I would have no problem with it if they do not mind sharing with you. It's,
I don't have any problem sharing.
as they say, what happens behind your closed doors is none of my business.
Not like that, but alright.
So
I would offer art, but I don't think that you.
Yes, no, I would safely say for you, my dear, I do not think they would fit with you, but
Do you have a bath that could accommodate my size, perhaps?
yes, the baths will. You will, well, it will require a little, scooching, but
Scooching's okay. Okay.
yes, each room has its own bath. I will send
Wonderful.
Theoli up with water for each of you. It will take a short while, as multiple trips, but
Sounds fantastic.
just do not get ready for the bath until after he has left.
Oh, of course, of course.
Will not bother him at all, but... So, and you said you all wanted food, so I'll take an additional gold from each of you and have food brought up to you.
Wonderful.
Does anyone have anything that they will not eat that we should be warned of?
I'll eat anything.
Yeah.
Anything is fine.
Okay.
I'm not picky.
Then she reaches over and snaps her fingers a couple of times and waits. And apparently, I will have to go find Theorly. So in the meantime, and she reaches up and sort of reaches underneath the raven's chin. I'm going to hand them the keys. Be a darling and take them upstairs. And she gives each of you the room keys. And then the raven, hops off her shoulder onto the counter, looks up at the group, and caws a couple of times, and then starts to very slowly fly. It's for those of you who have watched, and most of you have watched birds fly between the siblings in Lydian's ships, Furia in the Forest. You've all seen a bird fly. As you're all watching, as this bird is just lazily flapping its wings and almost hovering in midair, there is something very unnatural about the way it looks flying. Like it should be falling out of the air. It's not flapping fast enough. It's not moving fast enough. But it's still just, very slowly flapping, making it a nice leisurely pace for you to follow it up the stairs to the rooms.
Furia, did you want to talk to it?
Not particularly.
Okay. Just throwing it out there.
Now, as you walk in, you walk over, the door opens and you can see this massive stairway on either side that leads up and sort of wraps around the tower.
Cool.
The walls along this are mirror finished.
Ooh.
So as you're walking up, you're walking beside yourselves.
It's really pretty in here.
It is better than that haunted place. Oh, that
Hey,
place
that haunted place wasn't bad. It just
was just haunted.
different style to it.
It had a
Different
certain
style. Did you
charm.
know that those things watch you all night when you?
Mine left when I told
Not if
it to.
not if you didn't tell it to leave. Then it was. Then it
I didn't know I couldn't
stay.
tell it to leave. It just
Oh.
watched me all
Why
night.
not?
Oh my god.
I simply told it to leave, and it left as soon as I told it.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with it. And did I say the cat was lovely?
Lydia, I feel like we might have gotten shafted.
I agree, Artemis. I like this place much better.
Indeed.
Bed that can fit me.
Hey, don't worry about it. You go and you stay in your room and maybe you leave with a few extra towels or some silverware or cup tea sets. Huh? Take it back.
Oh, I see. But you can't do that when there's a specter floating near you the entire time.
That is entirely true.
After a few minutes, as you guys pass the first landing and up onto the second landing, the Raven brings you down a hallway, and you find a hallway that has a row of doors on it, and they show you to basically as you're walking down, as it gets to each door and lets out just a sharp caw, drawing you to the 5 rooms that the 6 of you have purchased for the evening.
Wonderful.
So it gets down to the end and then turns around and starts to, again, just that same sort of very leisurely pace, flying back past the group of you. Anything anyone's doing as they're heading in?
Nope.
Just taking a look around the room and seeing
Okay.
seeing what we got.
So as you walk in, the rooms are, compared to what you're used to at the other place, that they're comparably nicer. Lydia, the first thing you notice is the bed itself is about 7 feet long, so it is almost tall enough for you. You're going to have your feet hanging off the end, but it's probably going to be among the more comfortable that you've slept on in a while.
You just have to, sleep a little curled up.
Wonderful. I don't mind that at all. It's wonderful.
The rest of you easily fit on these beds. For most of you, it's too much space. But as you sort of stretch out, you get comfortable, you all notice there is a tub set in the corner of each room. Over the next, half an hour, 45 minutes, eventually this rather grizzled older dwarf comes walking in, shoulder yoke on, buckets of water, starts filling the tubs. Eventually you're all able to take a bath. About an hour and a half, 2 hours after you got there, food is brought up. And it is just a mismatch. Seems to be almost like a sample platter. You've got different pieces of cut up fruit, different meats that have been cut up, all manner of different things on it.
I love this place.
Each plate that they sat down has a each plate that they set down for each one of you has a rather large, looks to be a wine glass filled with some sort of a dark liquid. Has a very nice sort of fruity smell to it, but...
Ooh. I will drink it.
Oh, okay. There's a very pleasant taste to it. Goes well with the food.
Wonderful. I bang on the wall. Who's next to me?
Which wall do you bang on?
I don't know.
Banging on left or right?
Left wall.
Okay. Left wall is Bitter Jack.
Jack! Isn't this amazing?
Please do not bang on the wall. Thank you.
Sorry! I will stop talking very loudly to you right now.
Thank you.
Who's on the right side?
Okay, so next on one side. The other side is Furia and Artemis.
Fury and Artemis, isn't this a wonderful place?
Art, maybe we should, eat over at Lydia's room, just, for some extra company.
Sure, why not? She seems very lively.
Alright, I'll pick up this whole tray and I'll go over and knock on Lydia's door. And
I'll open it in a robe. I'll be like, this is grand! Look, the robe almost covers all of me.
Oh dear.
I can't cover my
Art
eyes.
steps back.
That's my hands are full. Lydia, we need to go inside quickly now.
Oh, okay, come on in.
As they're making this, I do want to like Jack will kind of lean out of her room. You say, Artemis, before you after you are finished with this before you sleep, can you come? I would like to talk to you about. Oh dear God, Lydia! No, why? Slams the door.
No, it's practically the
It's a decent fit up top, but
Goes on into
it's
the room.
very, very short.
You're a prude. You're friends. You're not supposed to be prude.
So as the group of you start getting yourselves together, what we'll do is we'll take our break here because we're about 10 minutes over the halfway point for tonight. So we will be back. Thank you very much, everyone, for hanging out with us tonight. We'll be back shortly to see what sort of trouble they get into during this evening. And it sounds like in the morning they may be heading towards the lady's house. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back like 3 to 7 minutes, and we'll be back soon. See you in a few.
See you.
Hey, welcome back from old ads. Alright, we'll try to get those updated for next time. And welcome back, everyone, as our party has made their way to the Crossed Swords and is currently basically somewhat split up, somewhat gathered. Some have gathered back together to enjoy their meal, their bath, their comically short bathrobe. So before we jump headfirst into Artemis has been requested to visit with Bitter Jack. Furia, Lydia, and Artemis, is there anything that the three of you are looking to discuss as Furia and Art have joined Lydia?
No, I just didn't want to eat alone, and I was thinking a bit about it.
Art, tonight, would you mind if I read one of your books?
No, be my guest. Depends on which one.
Well, one about monsters that, would help us all.
Ooh, I
I
want
mean,
to read that one
have-
too.
I'm going to have a lot of time, and I don't want to just, stare at you creepily while you sleep tonight, so I figured reading a
That
book
makes sense.
instead would be more appropriate.
No, well, I mean, I
Unless you
too.
really want me
decide-
to stare at you creepily.
Not particularly. I was just about to say that I was planning on staying up a little bit just to read a book of my own. But if you want to get a head start on one of them, go ahead, be my guest.
Alright, just hand me one and I'll, get started. After this, of course.
I guess I would have handed Furia one of the first two books.
Okay, so which one are you handing her?
She would be more interested in Bolos than the other one, I think. Her
Yep.
reading skills aren't great, but they're
Okay.
not. She can read.
So yeah, basically, as you're flipping through, it's Volo's guide. It's exactly what you may or may not have sitting next to you right now. The only thing that's not in there is the stat block. So everything else, the flavor text for the monsters, that's what you can see, as well as
No
sketches
stat
of them.
blocks. What?
Nope.
Oh,
And even if you have them, they might not be what they really are. You never know.
oh no.
Yeah, easy enough as you guys are enjoying your meal. As you guys finish up eating.
Thank you for keeping me company.
No problem at all.
Of course, this is a little bit more homely than the other place.
The other place gave me the creeps.
It was very much a shock. We really weren't sure what we were supposed to do in that. Yeah. It was just odd, but nice at the same time.
Quite.
I'm just gonna go with odd. Not the nice part. I think that's being a little generous. But, thanks for keeping me company. All the same.
Of course.
Have a good night, you two.
Well, thanks. Not like that.
No, not like that. Just have a good night. Furia, have a good night, Artemis. Separately, but together at the same time. I want everyone to have a good night, but in their perspective. I'm gonna go back inside.
I'll sort of pat Lydia's arm and then
Yeah. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna go test out the bed. Good night.
Okay, so as the two of you separate, Artemis, you can hear Jack in the back of your mind asking you to stop by.
All right then.
They'll kind of gently knock on the door.
Artemis. Yes.
There's no danger here.
come in, please.
Quite. They'll shuffle in.
You come in, you see that Jack has removed all of the bedding from the bed, and has made like a weird nest in like a corner of the room.
Looks.
Which she gets very self-conscious about immediately. In front of it, block your vision.
Anyways.
Yes. Artemis, you are very smart. You have a lot of the knowledge. Yes.
Some. I mean,
Um,
we did just go to the bookstore and get some more stuff so we could learn more. But yes.
Yes. You go to bookstore and you get books and you can read them and learn from them. This is good. This is it is good to learn to read. Yes, it is good to read.
It is. It is a way to learn and grow and.
Is there do you ever have students? You seem to be so smart. You should be a teacher in the schools in the great cities.
Not particularly. No. Everything I've learned was by myself. No, I've taught myself this.
Merde. Artemis, you know that it is hard for me. The common, I am not so long from the hometown, Gilam and my hometown. Yes, he is longer away. You have more time to learn his language of the outside, and he is learn the letters and the reading, and it is harder for me. I am not good in the common, and I do not know how to read.
That's, well, to be honest, that's not exactly a bad thing. It's not an uncommon thing, but I'm guessing that you want to learn how to read and to speak better.
Yes, I think that maybe if it is if I can learn the letters and thing, I can have more practice with my common and get better. It will be easier for me to everything.
Indeed. So I'm guessing this is leading to you asking me to teach you.
I can give you coin for this. If you can help me to learn, I can. You are spend lots on the books. I hear the others say. I can. I don't know what you it is. What you would want, but I want to learn, and I think maybe you are able to teach.
Well, for the first little bit, let's call it payback. On my end, you did save me from becoming a giant turtle's lunch, so I feel like this will be some sort of payback for that.
Tried, is it?
Yes.
I can do this. I can. What is it? The ones who are normally, look at my muscle and protect. I can do this for you. Yes.
I mean, but you've done already enough already. No need to feel obligated to protect me more so than you already have. But if
And
you
if I do not protect you, you will be. Oh, that is rude.
then I
I am
cannot
sure
teach
that
you.
you will be. I am patting them on like the shoulder. You will be will be fine. Yes, it is not. It is not too dangerous for you at all. It is all good. But
Sure,
you can help me to learn.
of course.
Kind of nods. Good. This is good. Perhaps perhaps it is what is not for to tell the others.
Sure, if that is what you wish, that is fine.
She kind of shrugs a little. She says, "My brother knows that I do not learn the common, but it is make me seem stupid, and I don't want the others to think this."
All right. No, I can keep this to between us. That's fine.
Very good. Thank you, Artemis.
No trouble at all.
She kind of says, "I will not keep you from reading your very expensive books any longer."
Well, if we're sharing secrets between you and me, one of these books looks a little bit spooky and dangerous, so I guess perhaps we'll see you in the morning. I guess we'll see. And they
Okay.
kind of they smile and nod and excuse themselves. And Art will go back to the room with Furia, I guess.
Okay.
Furia is hanging upside down with like her legs on the bed and the rest of her like off the side reading.
Oh, you're still up. Well, That's good.
Really cool stuff in here.
Well, that makes me all the more interested to read it once you're done. I will be attending my own tome.
There are pictures in Volos, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, and some of them are a little better drawn than others. You can tell as you're flipping through, you can say, okay, it looks like this is maybe a little bit of a safer monster. It's a much more well done drawing. Whereas there's a couple that you can see that are very hastily sort of scribbled down.
Like, for example, maybe a
I
book holder or
think
something.
maybe he was running when he was trying to do this, like somebody pulling him along. Where'd I get drawn?
All right.
So before we jump into what you're doing, Snowman and Sweetwater, anything either of you would be doing during the evening?
Nah, I'm asleep.
Okay, Snowmoon.
Snowmoon is muted.
Snowmoon dead.
Snowmoon's muted.
Snowmoon, you are muted in Discord.
There we go.
Hey, Snowmoon's alive.
Okay, so he's finished his meal, and he's sitting on the floor in his room, and he's taken his blade out of its sheath, and he's just placed it in front of him, and he's just sitting in front of it, like almost meditating over it. And he'll do that for a little while before he goes to bed.
Okay. And of course, I think we just lost Artemis.
No, I'm just off camera, sorry.
Which book are you opening?
What?
Oh, okay. As you open the book, do me a favor, make an investigation check.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a wrong side. 12.
Okay. As you start to open it, reach on, you open it to the first page, you notice a slip of paper starts to slip out of the very back of the book.
If I go to pick it up and look at it.
Okay, it looks to be written in common. As you glance over it, it is a note. And it just says, "To my short friend, where you have purchased this, I felt it only fair to give you something to wet your whistle. Look at the other side of this."
I do.
As you turn it over, it appears to be a spell scroll. As you're sort of going over it and trying to read, it's a little difficult for you to read. It is, as you're reading through it, it is a spell that you think you may be able to cast, but you also know just from reading this scroll that it is above your abilities right now.
Interesting.
As you're flipping through it, the spell scroll that this strange little person has given to you is Summon Greater Demon.
Artemis would make an audible, nervous giggle, but would jot that down into their book and then kind of stuff that away.
Yeah, so this is a 4th level spell, so you will not be able to copy it into your spell book until you can cast 4th level spells. You can attempt to cast it via the scroll, but that does require an ability check if you choose to use it.
I think it uses up the scroll as well.
Yeah, if you cast it that way, it does burn. The scroll is destroyed.
You hear over the side of the bed, "Yes, books are great, aren't they?" And they giggle.
Quite very enlightening.
And then as you start reading through the book, it seems to deal a lot, as at least for the first little bit that you're going to be able to get through before taking your rest for the evening. It's telling a lot about the Blood War and the battle between the demons and the devils. And this demon lord is doing that versus this plane of hell, and just back and forth across the river. And it basically seems that like the beginning of this is more of a the story thus far, so to speak.
Okay.
But what hit you as odd is that it's written. It's not written in common.
Yes.
So as you're reading through it, it's one of those where you're like, I know there's more here. There's got to be more here. If this was a history book, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You're definitely getting that sort of feel from it.
Okay.
But eventually, sleep claims all of you. You awake in the morning, feeling refreshed, well rested, one may say.
Nice.
And the day is yours.
Furia wakes up Art by shaking them violently. Slightly panicked, actually.
Some of you awake panicked.
Yes, good morning.
I think we have a problem. Well, last night I was reading and I looked up the pictures of the things we fought, and I read about them, and I just like shoved the book at you.
Woo!
You really need to look at it. It's not good.
Yes, okay. What am I looking at?
So what Furia did was, sort of after you nodded off, she sat up and looked through the book until she found pictures that resembled what we were fighting, and then read about them. So, actually, I don't remember what they were called.
Some bitch, I forgot that freaking thing was in Volos, or I wouldn't have. That would be called a Choldrith.
I don't think she found the vampire or anything, but she found the spider person.
She found the Choldrith, yep.
And the dog, and the little short guys as well.
Okay, so Choldrith. Then,
I'm actually not sure how much Fury would know about Drow and all of that. I think she would have a seated, instinctual,
Oh my god.
not good feeling about them. But I don't know how much she would actually know about them.
Sorry, this just like, dude. my other character, and I was just like, oh, it all ties together. Okay, anyways.
Realistically, you probably don't have a huge amount of information on Drow, as from where you were from, you didn't really have a whole lot of access down into caves into the Underdark.
Right.
So you've probably heard, you've heard them referred to as dark elves, and you hear the same sort of, mythical horror stories that humans tend to tell, how, Drow come up and they kidnap our children, and they kill people, and they eat our babies, and, same sort of thing that, it's, you probably don't put a whole lot of stock into it, but pretty sure they live underground and they're not a fan of lights. But
Right. Yeah, and being an elf, I might have this weird extra foreboding about them, but yeah, okay. I would still be slightly panicked because I don't know what's going on, and these creatures look scary and bad, and why were they in somebody's basement?
I guess Art would kind of like take the book and then kind of like read through it and flip through it. Kind of like, I guess, take stock of what Furia is pointing out.
Yeah, so, and again, what you're seeing is basically what again, I'll call it the flavor text that's marked in there. So as you're flipping through and looking at the information on the Choldrith and learning information on them, that they're literally things that are typically found in Drow society. They deal with Lolth. There's the Drow deity, and how they deal with the colonies. You're not sure, neither of you are really too sure what that would have to do and why it would be involved with a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
Again, as you're flipping through and Fear is showing the second thing in the Shadow Hound, you've got, a Shadow Mastiff. You're a little more, okay, those seem to be, this book says that they're used to protect vampires. That makes a little bit more sense, but tend to be, again, you're dealing with now the Drow. You've got things involved in Shadowfell and vampires. There's a lot that seems to be going on that doesn't... pieces don't all seem to fit nice and neat together at this point for you.
Interesting. And, Feria, you're sure these are the creatures that we saw at that establishment building?
Well, they definitely look like them.
Mm.
And you know, some of the other spider kind of looking creatures don't really fit the description, and it's really bad, right? I don't know what's going on.
No, I can say that I don't exactly know what's going on either, but it's good to at least have a lead. It looks like these creatures don't exactly poof out of nowhere. They come from somewhere. Perhaps we should have told that shopkeeper the truth.
Well, we
And
didn't
maybe
know
inquired
what
more.
these things were at the time, and well, we were very unprepared.
Hmm.
Should I go get the others and you know, get them to either come in here or just wait?
I'm
Lydia's already knocking on your door right now.
well,
Morning! Top of the morning to you!
good
The rest of you
You
could
there?
probably hear Lydia shouting out in the hallway if you're not already awake.
Yep.
I'll run over and I'll
You
open
awake?
the door and sort of pull Lydia inside. We got bad news. Shh.
Oh. Are you okay?
Well, I was reading and I found the things that we fought, and they're bad.
Oh, yes,
Art
they were
can
bad.
probably tell you more than I can.
Okay. Shall we hold a group meeting or just whispering
was-
about this?
Just asking Art about that, actually.
Perhaps we should, since everybody's going to be waking up or is up anyways.
Maybe just let them know, and then we can proceed on with going to find, meeting with that lady.
Yes, perhaps she'll be in the market district again.
No, not that lady. The other lady.
Lady
the,
Lisa.
Yes.
We're
I mean, we can
Maori.
also talk to that other lady, and I think Lydia needs to talk to her too.
Got my concertina.
I'll leave the room and start knocking on other people's doors and ask them to see if they're up.
Okay. So the rest of you, if you're not already awake, you're now being woken by rapid knocks on your door.
I'm not being as loud as Lydia.
Okay, your door is being pounded on like the Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah, Snowman will just open his door.
You don't
and
expect
say,
it.
Syria.
Yeah, no one expects it.
Yes?
Group meeting in Art and mine's room. now. We have information.
Okay, just let me get dressed, and he'll put on his robes and his armor and put his sword in his
Wait, you
hip.
weren't dressed when you opened the door.
He wasn't dressed for. He takes off his knight robe and dresses in his armor, and puts his sword in his hip,
Yeah.
and follows Feria out the door.
Close call.
Okay, and Jack and William, I'm assuming you're knocking on everyone's door, Furia?
Yeah, it would be.
Jack, you hear the Lydia-style banging on your front door.
Yeah, the door to Jack's room flies open and 3.5 feet. And we're standing on the other side of it. And he goes, "Oh. I thought for sure it was going to be Lydia with no pants on."
Not this time.
What is the
We
problem?
have information about the creatures we fought yesterday. We're having a meeting in the room over. The room over. My room and Art's room.
Okay.
Right now. Please come.
She's dressed, but she's not wearing shoes. She's pads over to the appropriate room.
Guess the last person would be William.
Yep. Wait, someone's trying to kick down your door, William.
Try as you might, no matter how much you knock, no one comes to the door. William is not there.
Well, I don't know that William might be just passed out inside. I don't know. I'll go back to, I guess, the room where everybody is and check. Your brother is not answering his door.
Oh. This is a common thing for him? Player knowledge?
Yeah. He gets up early.
So this is not something that's like a revelation to Jack.
No,
Okay.
William is really accustomed to like ship time schedules, so he's up pretty early.
Okay. He's probably neck deep in bacon or
Baguette?
yes.
Har
Let
har.
us say that it is what yes, baguette. That's what that is what we will call it. It's up to his neck in baguettes somewhere, I am sure. It's fine, he will return eventually when he is ready.
Well, I guess we could all tell him later when. But I was reading this book that Art had bought and found that some of the creatures we fought yesterday were in here, and the information about them doesn't bode well.
Oh dear.
A lot about.
What does it bode?
It's not good news. I don't know. It's a thing my parents used to say all the time.
Okay.
Well, it's about, like, drow, and there's something about Loth and vampires, and I don't know what half of it is, but it doesn't sound good, and it's like somebody brought them up instead of they just wander up. Art, I don't know, maybe you can explain it better.
Maybe we should just leave well enough alone?
I just thought you should know, even if we don't do anything about it immediately.
Alright.
I also recommend, once I'm done reading it, everybody else read it. There's some good stuff in there.
I plan on reading it next, if you don't mind.
Yes, wonderful. I shall be the traveling bookshop for everyone. But honestly, yes, Feria is right. There are some interesting correlations between the beings that we found in that establishment and those in the book. I'm
Right.
wondering if our quote unquote employer had anything to do with those in the Underdark, or maybe someone in their family did something, or...
Well, we didn't quite tell them about the vampires or anything.
Yes,
Or-
exactly.
Didn't
We
know
could
it was
always
a
go back
vampire
to the
ship.
shopkeeper and
And
with this
I
new
mean,
information
how
we
el-
have.
until I read this, how else was we supposed to describe this spider, or these little people, or this dog thing?
I mean,
Hmm.
maybe she would have known based on our description, but who knows?
Well, if we
Does-
didn't know who these things were, what makes us think that
Wait,
she
what
would? If
little
she's
people?
the little ones that exploded when you killed them.
I mean, perhaps she's responsible in some way, or she can give us more information about how they ended
Well,
up in her basement.
I
Is it
think
your
for
book
now-
says that they are not dead enough after we kill them? They are come back?
I don't think they come back.
Oh. Then are we not get our pay for this job?
I think we should just leave it alone and walk away with the knowledge that this book gave us. And if we come across things like this again, we'll know better about them
Fair enough.
and
I
know
agree
that
with
maybe there's more in this town, in people's basements.
That means the eye. Gotcha.
I suppose. Makes me weary about staying here for a long time, but
We've
I
got
suppose it's
6 more days here. On the mission.
They want
exactly.
to pay us for killing the ones in their basements too, then that is good for us. We already know we can do it.
No,
true.
dear.
So, just to remind everybody, today is our second quote-unquote free day. Technically, Captain wants us to start our official job tomorrow, but I think getting a head start and talking to this lady might be a good idea. You know,
About the murders.
Yes.
Get a good in with her. And we got
Right.
to go see Mally Bally again.
So we could
For me,
go
at
talk to
least.
this lady, get audience, and then go talk to the instrument lady.
Quite. I'm down for that. We can go see Lady Lisa first, and then go see Mally Bally. But first, breakfast.
Exactly, I was about to say.
Most important meal of the day.
Yes,
Well-
right.
Shall we head down for breakfast then?
Sure. I don't know if we get it delivered to her.
Oh,
There's a common hall.
Let's go find out.
Alright. I will lead the way down.
As you start heading back down the hallway and down the stairs in that large mirrored central tower, you can see down at the bottom of the stairs something new that wasn't there when you came through last evening, a massive table that sort of, it almost looks like it was designed to be a circle, but then was carved out, so it basically looks almost like a giant C with seating on both sides of it. And you can see that there are people starting to sit down. It looks like it's almost like a family style dining location. There's just people sort of sitting in it down at any seat, grabbing some food. There's, as you guys get down there, there's probably about 6 or 7 other people currently sitting at the table. William, would you be still sitting down and having breakfast at this point, or would you have wandered off to other things?
I. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying hello. Don't worry about it.
I would have gone downstairs early and would have indeed been neck deep in bacon.
Okay.
And as you come down, you can see there's a couple of empty plates already in front of William. Looks like a mug or a glass sitting in front of him as well. He is neck deep in it. I said there seems to be at least 3 seats on either side of William. People seem to be giving William a little bit of a berth, as William is just
All right.
attacking this food with a fervor.
I like your style. I too enjoy bacon.
Oh, I pass you a heaping plate of bacon.
Oh, wonderful! This is great. This and a mug of tea. Right off in the morning.
Jack starts eating off of William's plate. He just like sits down, taking his food. And
Yeah,
very rapidly and unintelligible halfling relays the conversation from upstairs to the best of her understanding of it. Which essentially amounts to they got very upset about a thing that they read in a book about the monster, except it's already dead and we don't have to do anything about it. So I'm very annoyed because they woke me up.
True, very true.
I give you a bit of
It's
extra
essentially
bacon.
the super fast French version
Yeah,
that
sounds about
William
right.
gets.
Very Quebecois. I mean, what?
Big fun.
Oh no!
Hey, sweet
I don't know if
William.
that's a Canada
Sorry.
joke or not.
Sweet William.
Uh-huh.
Would you mind teaching me some halfling sometime?
I drink down a hearty mug of tea, and I say, I thought you'd never ask.
Wonderful. I would love to learn.
You know, we'll have plenty of time on this ship.
This
This
is
will make
true.
things go by so much faster.
Awesome.
You know, originally
dirty
I
words
had...
first.
And you know, Art, I still would like for you to teach my sister Simel Coleman when you get the chance.
Oh, of course. I can do some of that. I can read too.
Sure.
No one asked me, but I can read. I went to school. Just in
Yes,
case you
Lydia, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to let you all know that you can read.
And Snow Moon is
Lydia.
just eating. Snow Moon is just
Literate
eating
Lydia.
his breakfast
Literally.
during all this.
Methinks the lady doth protest too much about her ability to read.
Oh.
She was in the
Aw.
bookstore and no one asked her. And the guy was just like, "Don't step on anything." So I took it out of the bookstore.
I would never laugh at anyone who can read.
Yeah. Thank you. But I can.
As you're all sitting around, you can see that your hostess is sitting at the end of the table, that same black raven perched on her shoulder. Just eating very slowly, just tiny little bites, a little sip here and there. Now she takes the cup and holds it up, and the raven dunks its beak down and picking little bits of food from her.
Interesting. Freya, do you think that's a natural bird or some sort of magical thing?
Honestly, I don't know. My instinct is that it's magical as it flew unnaturally, but I mean, I'm sure wizards have ways to have pets.
Well, that's true. Maybe Artemis will get a pet one. That'd be something.
Artemis
Ar-
is like
If you
deep
had a
into
pet,
their breakfast, but
what would it be?
yes.
If you had a pet, what would it be?
Well, seeing as we're on the sea so much and the water is kind of familiar to me, something waterbound, which probably would not go well with our town excursions.
I've got the animal for you. A dolphin. Have you ever seen a dolphin?
A couple times.
They're
Well,
really
they say
friendly.
dolphin. I still want to see a dolphin. They sound nice.
Dolphins are very friendly creatures.
I'm pretty sure that's not true.
They can be nice and they can be very nasty.
Well, most positives
They're
they are
very
very
smart.
mean.
They're very smart though. You got to remember that. So you got to treat a dolphin with respect. But I think that'd be the perfect animal for you because you're also intelligent. How
I
many
will
more
take
bacon?
that as a compliment for now.
Yes. Of course. I called you intelligent. How is that not a compliment?
Never mind, it's fine.
Technically, you compare him to a fish, but he's.
I did not
the,
compare him to a fish. I said he was like a dolphin. Wait, is that comparing him to a fish? I get my metaphors confused.
A
I
dolphin
need
is
to
a
teach
fish?
two people how to speak common.
Just kidding. That was out of character.
Is Fury eating meat, by the way? I'm curious about this. Or Jack is curious about this, rather.
Say what?
Is Furia eating meat? Jack is curious about this. She's like scoping out the sea.
Well, you would have seen her last evening eating, I think she ordered
Ow.
steak. But right now for breakfast, she's just eating fruit.
Okay.
So you have seen her eat meat.
Although I wasn't with you guys when you ate your meals, but
No, but I think when you guys went,
At the ghost,
yeah.
inn.
I was.
I
Yeah,
ordered-
well, Jack was there.
So yes, Jack has seen Fury eat meat before.
Got it. Okay.
As well
Okay.
as eat bandit head.
Well,
Oh yeah,
True.
in a way, yes.
Very tasty.
That's true.
Not necessarily swallowed that.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Lady Lisa, and we've got the Sweet William. You have the notice with you, right?
Yes, it's right here. I have it. Make
Wonderful.
sure to take it.
All right. How long would it take to get to foot versus carriage?
Foot versus carriage from roughly where you guys are. 13.
Where are we on 11? Which side of the river?
You're on this side of the river, so you are ballpark. Give me a second. Let me measure out first, and then I'll get you that.
Okay.
Would we, by any chance, be able to stop by the marketplace? I would like to sell my old armor so I
Sure.
don't have to keep lugging it around. I
Or
just,
should we go there afterwards when we go see Molly Bali? And
I mean, I don't really want to lug around an extra piece of armor when we go see the
we
lady.
can put it in the bag if you don't want to lug
Oh,
it around.
yes, I forgot we had that. Yes, I'll put it in there.
All right.
It's about a mile away.
Okay.
So it would between taking the back roads, it'd probably take you about a half an hour or so walking. If
Okay.
you get a carriage, you might be able to make it 10-15 minutes.
I don't care either way with you guys. I'd rather walk and see the lights, but if you guys would rather get there more expediently, then by all means we can take a carriage. It is
Fine
sorry.
us walking. We've got the whole day ahead of us.
This is true.
Yeah, why not?
All right, let's take a night's walk.
Okay. So as you're making your way again, following the it's sort of hard to not know where to go to head up towards this. Is this her? I'll call it a castle. Basically, her mansion is up. The walls around it are up on the hill in the northern part of the city, and you can see her home even behind the walls. So even as you get a little turned at points, you still have a general pretty good aim of where you're heading to. As you're heading up, it seems don't really have any real problems. You get up. Oh, go ahead.
just as we're walking, like before we get there, to the group, I say, I am thinking of what it is Artemis say yesterday. They say it is what if the lady Teresin asks for who we are. It is we are to go to present ourselves as a group that can go and hunt down these murders for this lady. Perhaps we are. I don't know. As Artemis say, perhaps we need to think of a name for ourselves to say to the lady. We don't simply say that we are 6 assholes. We'll look for our murderer. She throw us out of our house. Maybe we make up name. I don't know, like company or something.
There is
Give
the
ourselves
name
officialness.
we gave to the guy on that other island we could use.
Yeah, what was that name?
I'm pretty sure we never came back to that, so I don't think that happened.
Oh, yeah.
I think we agreed on Ballista 6.
All right, with the
Yeah.
Ballista 6.
We definitely did out of character.
Yeah,
It never happened in the
we-
game.
We never did sign that contract with our official name, so.
Well, Willie sort of blurted it out, and it was the best one we had at the moment, so. And, you know, if she asks where's the ballistas, well, that's the joke. You know,
Cool. I'm glad that this got settled that way.
Why not just be a passing mercenary group? We don't exactly need to have a name, do we?
well, let's maybe not say
Was
it
it
until she
Obscure
asks for
End
it.
or
It was
Ballista 6?
Ballista 6 that William said, Lydia.
Okay.
Yes, us and the audience all remember this happened.
I'm just going back. Alright. Ballista 6 it is. That doesn't sound threatening at all.
So, like,
It's supposed to sound
Sirius
threatening.
said,
We're supposed to seem dangerous and official. Yes.
we probably shouldn't mention anything unless she asks us directly.
Only if she need.
Yes.
I only think perhaps if we are at the gate, then she'd say, who are you people? Why are you? Why do I hire you to solve my murder? And we go, I don't. Yeah, yeah.
We're looking for a job.
Assholes who find a flyer. We think we do it.
We were
Exactly
trying
what
to
she
help
said.
with the flyer. Yeah. We'll do a dry run in this as we practice
Are you
some
not
improvisational skills. I got
William and I have a tried and true method. I will pretend that I am do not know any of the command.
You could also do that, yes? Alright.
It will help. I will learn things while you are talk to her.
This is true. You're very insightful.
I
She
could
can-
always pretend to speak another language too.
Let's not go too far and say that the Ballista 6 and that we don't speak our language, because that just sounds stupid.
With the Ballista 6, we don't know common, we only know first sentence, and this one explaining the second one.
And a great amount of hand signal.
Yes, we will talk a lot with our
And at
Like a
least one of
gesture.
us is most definitely literate.
Alright, let's just go to the gate.
Yes, and not share any information we don't have to.
Right.
So as you guys
Also-
are making your way and walking up, what is everyone's passive perception?
15.
Good question.
Let's see, where is it? It's probably like a
16.
4.
12.
Let's see.
12 for me as well.
14.
13 for Jack.
Oh, okay. So I think it's pretty safe to say everyone catches. So as you guys are making your way back up, at this point, you have got past the mark. You're back, heading back through Tower Farthing, Section 8, heading up into the Castle Ward to go into her place. As you're going down one of the alleys, all of a sudden, you all watch as this person coming down the street just dips their hand in and tries to grab something out of Lydia's pocket.
Hey, what are you doing?
Every
Get out of
single
here.
one of you, including Lydia, sees this. Well, I should say, Lydia, you probably feel this rather than see it, but
I put my gun in his
slap it.
face.
I'll put my hand on my blade. Hey, take
I
your hand.
slap it.
Take your hand
immediately.
away right now.
I ain't doing nothing, Governor. I didn't touch nothing.
Who are you?
Who are you?
I'm
Does
Lydia.
this
Who are
person?
you?
This person did not take anything from Lydia, just attempted it.
Yeah, it looks like he was trying to go in and just either isn't very good or is just really off his game today.
Practice somewhere else.
I
You
don't know
don't
what you're
want
talking about.
to mess with this people.
Just tries to keep pushing by and take off.
I like push the barrel of my gun into him as he starts to move past. And I go, "Was my friend the first mark of yours today?"
Yeah.
Empty your pockets.
Looking at you,
I'm a bad guy.
literally turns out the pockets and nothing. Couple of pieces of lint. Pulls up a half-eaten biscuit. The rest of my breakfast.
That's kind of sad, actually. You must be the worst thief.
Lydia, pipe down.
But I was going to give him a copper.
I look him up and down.
Copper? He was trying to steal from you, Lydia.
Yeah, but I feel bad. He's like the worst thief in the world, and he can't. He's got a biscuit.
I'd like to look him up and down to see if I think he's hiding any coin, any person.
Go ahead and make an insight check.
Oh, can I make one too?
Sure.
Cool.
I think I'm proficient in insight.
I am not. I've got some wisdom.
I'm not. Alright.
Ooh! 23! I
Alright.
incite this dude!
I got a 13.
I rolled a 19.
You really weren't sure at first as you all saw him try to lift something from Lydia. As you push the barrel against him, though, he wet himself.
Oh.
So
Cool.
you are pretty sure that he's being up and up, that he doesn't have anything on him.
I take his biscuit and I say, "Get out of my face."
Okay. Takes off running past you.
Sorry. Better luck next time. No, that's not the right thing to say. Don't do that. To me. Or us.
Lydia, I think he's long gone.
I know, I was trying to think of something snappy. That'd be my forte.
Ugh, merde. Poppy seed.
Oh!
Yeah.
Sweet William told me what marriage meant. Very good, it means shite.
Very good, yes.
Thank you, Sweet William.
As you
Right.
continue your way into the castle district and make your way towards the gate, you can see you've got about 300 or 400 feet down this just straightaway leading to this massive gate. You can see there's two heavily armed guards standing on either side of the gate. Looks to be a rather large shield and some sort of pike or spear held in their hands. As you guys approach, two of them standing there. What do you lot want?
We have a notice about some murders in the town. We're wondering if we could be any assistance.
Oh, so someone finally came looking to do the lady's business.
Boy.
Follow the path up the front door. As you walk in, there'll be a small gentleman behind the desk. He'll arrange for you to have a conversation with the lady if she's available for you.
Wonderful. Hear that, Ballista 6? Let's go.
Lydia, we said no extra information.
Hear that, people? Let's go.
Sharp elbow. Very
Okay.
quickly, I'm saying this.
Sorry, Furia. I mean, you. Sorry.
I'm Furia. Just shh. Maybe
Okay.
let somebody else do the talking.
Okay.
I feel like I've had this conversation before.
I'm pretty sure we have. When I told the what it was, Yon T, exactly our plan. Yeah.
As we continue on, Furia is going to be soaking up all the details she possibly can
Okay.
about the place, the layout, things like that.
Yeah, so it seems to be very straightforward. As you come in from that western gate, the path leads west, and then it turns up into this little nook here is the main entranceway. So as you walk in, you again, it's sort of a grayish granite steps, 9 steps leading up to the front door, massive dark wood doors, looks to be polished brass handles, small circular windows up near the top. Lydia, you could probably peek through these. These doors are rather oversized, but no guards right at the door. As you proceed to open the door, leads into large, dark, black marble floors. Very stark colors within this area. White wood, looks to be like a half moon style desk. Gentleman standing behind the desk. Receding hairline, sort of salt and pepper, gray and black. Little bit of a point to his chin. No real smile lines or anything on the face. Looks to be a very serious person. Standing there. Very sort of plain, just white shirt, hands folded, sitting on top of the desk. Yes, and who might the group of you be?
We're here in interest of this notice. We thought we might be able to help out.
Well, yes, the
I'm not
lady
sure
is
who has
in
the notice.
search for people to deal with a multiple murderer who has been killing individuals within the city. Please have a seat on the bench, and I will let the lady know you are here.
Thank you.
Wow, he seems bold.
And as you're sitting there, you just watch as it closes his eyes. And then as he opens them, his pupils are gone. And it's just sort of like milky whitish gray for a couple of moments.
That can't be natural.
Probably wizard stuff.
He's muttering a little to himself.
Would I know anything? Or no?
Make an Arcana check.
Yeah, does this look like a sending spell?
Ow.
Ooh.
Make an Arcana check and see if you...
Oh!
I rolled a 4.
Nat 20.
Nice.
Lydia, you're really not sure. You might just be blind. You've seen people with cataracts and milky white eyes before.
Yeah. Seems old.
Artemis, yes, you are fairly confident that he is casting some sort of ascending spell. You're not sure whether or not he is casting it himself or if there's something on him that is, like if he's casting it through an item. But you're pretty confident that that's exactly what he's doing.
Thank you, Dice. I won't put you in jail yet.
And after a couple of moments, it sort of blinks and he's sort of grayish blue color to his eyes returns.
Oh, thank God.
She will be with you in shortly. Please have a seat, and then someone will escort you into her presence.
Feria does her best, very hard. tries very hard and succeeds to not tell him that we're already sitting down.
After about 5 or 10 minutes, a gentleman comes walking towards the group of you. He comes out of a hallway to the right behind this individual behind the desk. And all of you can hear the slight sort of jingling clang of armor. As you're looking at him, though, you can see he is wearing sort of large, voluminous blue robes. They can't see anything from neck to foot. Now, you see a little bit of what looks to be some sort of like brown leather shoe. But even his hands are hidden within the sleeves of the robes. It's folded in front of him as he's walking. Ah, yes. The lady will see you now. Please follow me. Turns and beckons and starts heading back down the right-hand hallway.
I'll follow him.
Follows the group, but I have started like sort of like squirming uncomfortably.
Is it noticeable?
No, sort of doing like a pee-pee dance.
Oh.
And I have sort of like an uncomfortable look on my face.
Do you want to stand behind me?
I just go like, and I go back to doing my thing.
Okay.
Yeah, my eyes are very curious about where we're walking and everything.
Okay.
So go ahead and make a perception check as you guys are walking down this right-hand hallway. I will say you would have noticed sitting in that main area, there was one large stairway that seemed to lead up to a second floor behind that older gentleman.
23.
Okay.
Well, my perception modifier is, but I rolled 3, so not great.
Yeah, you're putting so much into this pee-pee dance that you're doing that it's...
I'm really selling the performance.
You're selling the performance, but it's got a cost, though.
I rolled a 17.
Oh, okay.
A 17.
Lydia and Fury, you're both noticing as you're going down this hallway, and you can see that there's a couple of small rooms on each side, but even before that, you can see that there's a couple of suits of armor within the hallway. That one of them is, the first one you come to looks to just be a very old, looks like regular iron armor. About 7 or 8 feet later, though, there's another one. And this thing, it looks like it's platinum and gold. It's brilliantly polished. It looks, looking at it from, and Lydia, I'd say out of the two of you, you'd probably have a little more experience with armor than Furia would. You're pretty sure it's not that battle-worthy, but you think for a ceremonial suit of armor, this is probably a pretty penny. Even if you were to melt it down just for the metal itself, between the platinum and gold in it, you'd probably make a decent bit of coin out of it. But you can see there are other closed doors on the side. A little further, though, the gentleman stops, turns back and gestures towards the door to his left, which is cracked open. Looks at the group of you and then is looking and then looks down at Jack. Are you all right, dear? It seems rather uncomfortable.
Jack looks at him, and she looks to William. What is he asking me?
You know, I wasn't paying attention.
She's just like doing this.
He looks in, then looks over at William. Is there something wrong with that one? It looks like it's going to wet itself.
First of all, that's rude. Second, no, she's not going to wet herself. She is learning common still. And if she requests it, I can act as a translator at times. Please repeat your question.
What is wrong with her?
There is nothing wrong with her.
In halfling, she goes, "You tired? Tell him I have to find the bathroom."
Look down at her. What is the laboratory?
Just shakes his head. Continue past the entranceway. Second door on your left in the main foyer.
She looks at him. She looks back to William as if she didn't understand any of that.
I relay all that to Jack.
She goes, "Oh, oui, 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 oui," and then she like beelines away from the group.
Azure, not on the floor. The lady is waiting. Are you waiting for her, or are you going now? Her lady's time is precious.
We will go in now.
Fine. And he gestures to all of you to enter the room.
Go on.
Okay. As the rest of you walk in, he steps in behind you and proceeds to close the door behind the group of you. As you look around, this room is very finely furnished. It's a very thick pile rug on the ground. There's a large, looks to be like a cherry wood desk, a high back leather chair sitting behind it. There's a couple of smaller chairs sitting around a couple of smaller circular tables in front of the desk. Sitting within the desk is a very young-looking woman. Platinum blonde hair, parted evenly in the middle, down the sides, pulled in front of her shoulders, hanging in front of her. Very minimalist makeup on this woman. Wearing a very fine royal purple sort of blouse. Hands on her desk, just appraising the group of you as you enter. The gentleman who's just closed the door turns, leans his back against the door, arms crossed within the sleeves of his robes, just standing there watching. The lady is just watching the five of you.
Is there places to sit, or are we just standing here?
There's a couple of smaller tables in front of her desk with chairs around them that you could sit at should you choose to.
We're not invited to sit here. I would recommend we stand.
Furia will, not really knowing a lot about this kind of thing, will sort of look curiously at the lady and pull out a chair and sit in it.
Lydia will, before she sits, pull her up and have her back in line with us. We weren't invited.
You watch as a little
I'm
grin
very
plays
confused.
plays across her face. Well, isn't it interesting? New people have come to me. And so they say you come to aid me in dealing with a murderer.
That is correct.
Then why don't you have a seat and we can discuss?
I sort of shoot a dirty look at Lydia and go sit back down in the chair.
Now we can sit. I will stand because I assume there's a chair big enough. Is there a chair big enough for me?
Yeah.
Okay, I will sit too.
Yeah, these seem to be built for your average-sized human, so it's not going to be the most comfortable for you where you're bigger, but you're not going to fall through it either.
Okay, I will sit too.
So she sort of looks over the group of you for a moment. You seem prepared for work.
We were in the city looking for just such a thing, in fact.
So, mercenaries then. The coin could be worth it, although your quarry is troublesome. They have killed at least 2 to 3 members of my council. They tend to make their stay outside of the city walls in the forest. All we've had to go on is a name, Seckless.
You don't have any description of this individual? Any kind of physical description?
Unfortunately not. Each time that one of my council members has been slain, the only information we get is a heavily cloaked individual fleeing the scene. They tend to move quickly. Doesn't make a whole lot of noise, so we're assuming it's not a heavily armored individual. But beyond that, no one's had a clear look at them.
Do they always kill in the same manner?
Yes.
Could you tell us a bit about what that manner is, perhaps?
Every single one of my council who have been slain have been shot multiple times through the chest and heart with a crossbow. Usually find between 3 to 5 bolts buried in the heart.
Right. What kind of council is one? If you don't mind me asking, my lady.
It's a council that helps me govern my city.
Okay, a governing council.
Yes.
So, we're thinking somebody that does not like the council is killing them?
That would be my assumption, but again, for the most part, the people here are happy with my rule. There have been no problems in the many years that I've been Viceroy here. You always have a few malcontents, dock workers who wish they were paid more.
No, you can't please everybody all the time.
How would I afford this if I was worried about every single person? But most of my council are skilled individuals. It's not as if any fool who obtained a crossbow would be able to kill them this easily.
I understand. Have they been killed in an area, per se?
Usually within their homes.
Usually within their home.
It makes it harder for them to find for there to be witnesses.
Is the homes of the council members public knowledge?
Not at all.
Easily found out?
No, this individual would have to be stalking them. A hunter, one might say.
Have you tried going to the armories throughout the city and asking who they might have sold any crossbows to recently?
And I've had the guards make a few requests, but we have so many ships in here within days and weeks. It's hard pressed to find anyone who would be able to say, yes, I sold one to a strange individual.
True.
Of course.
Alright.
Would we be able to get the locations of the council members who have died? Maybe their houses?
She sort of looks past you and looks over at the gentleman who walked you in and just gives a nod to him. Yes, I can see that the city guard that are currently watching those locations are aware that you will be permitted in.
I think that would help.
And you said that this perpetrator usually retreats to the woods outside of the city walls after committing the
Yes.
crime? Okay.
The few times that we've had anyone able to give chase, once they fled out the northeastern gate through the South Goldenfield ward. And one other time the guard, albeit was a bit under the weather, claimed that they went straight over the wall, which is preposterous, but...
Well,
and then fled through the fields to the north into the woods.
I
Again,
don't
once
think we
they're
should.
in the fields, it's hard enough to see them over the wheat and corn and other crops.
What are we talking about for reward if we capture or kill this person?
Well, that would depend on whether or not you can prove it is them. The city is prepared to pay handsomely should we be able to prove that this is the one who has slain them.
Capture them.
Without proof, there'd be no way to know for certain. Typically, each something that has not been brushed about beyond a few of my own personal guards. Each one of the council was missing their ring finger on their left hand. Perhaps should you find said extremities, we have coin enough to pay the lot of you.
Nothing else was taken, just the life and the finger.
That is correct. At least nothing that we've been able to find. I don't make it a habit of inspecting all of my council members' homes on a regular basis. And there could have been something stolen, coin, but jewelry. We would have no way of knowing. Nothing looks out of place.
But I guess nothing obvious or noticeable connecting them together. Just
Just the fact that they are my council.
Hmm.
And that they are connected to me.
And how recently was the latest murder committed?
4 days ago.
Okay. And how about the one before that?
6 days prior to that.
Okay.
It seems like they are increasing their frequency.
Hmm.
Yes, and the next one could be very shortly if that's the case.
Yes.
I'm
Very
not
soon.
familiar with this city. How many people are on the council? Is it a great
Depends
deal?
on depends on which council. So we have in the Hydra's borough there is the guild hall, which has the council for the different guilds, for the craftsmen, metal workers, and the like. And then you have my own personal council, which, well, initially was one person from each of the 12 districts within the city, but we are down to 9, plus myself now. Each council member from the district hand-chosen by me to be responsible for their own borough, or district, or ward, or whatever they have chosen to call it. And then the 13 of us get together and deal with things required in the running and ruling of the city.
I make a. Well, if we do this successfully and to your satisfaction, may I request a reward?
I would be interested to hear what you would be looking to request.
I would like you to look at an object that I own and give me whatever information you know about it to me.
I suppose I could do that for you, should you prefer admirably.
Great.
And the coin. But information is very precious to anyway,
We shall see how you perform.
yes.
You needs must survive back.
That's right.
As I said, my council is hand-chosen by me. And this individual is killing them without leaving ne'er a trace of blood behind.
That's not good.
We will do our best.
Well,
I am sure.
she gestures towards the guard again. He will show you back to the entranceway and give you the information on the 3 houses where you can start your services.
I don't suppose you would give us information on any other account so we could protect them or stake them out or something.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Oh dear. $12.
Okay, let's see here. As she's looking at you, she sort of cocks her head a little to the side. My dear, it is an interesting offer you make, but you are, as of yet, unknown to me, and I will not risk any more of my council members under the potential risk that you are in league with said individual.
I nod my head. Understandable. Go and suss out the old information then and try to see what we find.
I think we have enough information to go on so far.
Right.
Then I wish you the best. And she sort of gestures towards you.
Thank you, Marm.
Go ahead, all of you in the room, if you want to, go ahead and make a perception check.
Yeah.
And then we're going to jump over to Jack for a couple moments before we got out, because we're a little late, but...
18.
Okay.
24.
21.
Okay. And Artemis? You are muted in Discord if you're speaking.
Dang it. Alright,
Yeah.
19, sorry.
Oh, okay.
I'm not the only one. Yay.
So, well, we'll start with William. With that roll, the only thing you really notice as you're looking around in here is that this is a lovely interior sort of living room. You do see that there's a couple of cabinets that are closed with looks to be like lines of books in there. The rest of you notice that there are some closed display cases sitting up near to up around her desk on the sides. A couple in the back corners of the room. From this distance, it's hard to see what's in them without it being obvious that you're trying to go over and sort of poke around. But you can definitely see that, at least in this room within the house, there are some things that she has on display that are locked up in here.
I cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
Leaving?
Does that require... I believe that is both verbal and somatic, correct?
Oh, is it? It's just something I can...
I would also be trying to figure out during the conversation what race she is, as it's been tossed around a lot. Nobody really knows, so I would try to be figuring it out.
Okay, let me just see here. Yeah, so you can cast it using that. So this is both verbal and somatic, so you can do it if you want to, but you're going to have to make a sleight of hand check to see if you can pull it off without being obvious.
Never mind, I'm just gonna assume it's magic.
Oh, okay. And what was your perception check again, Furia?
It was 24.
Oh, okay. As you're looking, the way she has her hair styled, you can't see her ears. Her eyes, though, as you're looking at her facial structure, given your own elvish nature, only thing you can really say is you're really not sold on the fact that she's elvish.
Ooh.
Alright.
Beyond that, without more to go on, the way she's got her hair over, sort of pulled forward and down, covering her ears, hard to say beyond that. And then with that, as you guys are starting to be escorted out, the guard is handing over to the group of you a slip of paper with 3 addresses on it within the castle ward.
Okay.
And let you know that the guards will be advised of your appearances within the next half an hour to an hour. So give them a little bit of time to get the word out, and then you'll be able to get over and start looking into these houses. But we are going to jump back about 20-25 minutes now to a very eagerly running to the restroom Jack. Jack, you have made your way back to that main, they've all just turned into the room and you have started booking down the hallway back the way you came.
So my plan is essentially to get out of line of sight of these creepy guards and wander as much of this house, casing as much of this place as I can until I get caught.
Okay. So, as within a couple of seconds of you turning to run back, that guard has followed your rest of your friends into this office. So you are currently out of sight of everyone. So go ahead and make a stealth check.
Alrighty.
All right, dice, don't screw me. Boys and girls. Boys and girls.
What?
Oh, I don't know how to show this to the camera without tipping it. Hang on. It rolled. It's a natural 20. That was very anticlimactic.
It's like all of a sudden I hear, "Ka-tick." It's like, oh, whatever it was trying to show us.
My stealth is a 23.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so let me just take a look here and just check our passive perceptions. I don't think there is anything that is going to touch that, but if there is, y'all in trouble. But no, do not. I really hope that my email did just not show up on the Twitch stream. Okay, so it seems like you are invisible as far as you can tell. So you are moving around. As you start checking around the first floor again, you see a lot of the same things that the others noticed on their way down. There seem to be suits of armor, artwork, pictures, things that are seem to be worth a decent chunk of coin if you can get out of the house with them. As you're looking through some of the rooms on the first floor, you can see as you're poking in, there are a lot of locked cases with different little items in them. You see a couple of cases that look to have like daggers in them, scraps of parchment, a couple of necklaces. As you manage to get past the gentleman at the front desk and start making your way upstairs, you go up the stairs. You have a choice, left or right, as you get to the landing. As it comes up and then it goes to either side.
Right.
Okay. So you go up to the right-hand side. First door you come to on the right-hand side, so as you go up and then it turns back sort of towards the main hallway to get up onto the second floor. The first door you come to looks like it's unlocked. You sort of peek in. Looks like it's the master bedroom. So you sort of poke around. A massive, 4-poster, like princess-style bed. It's got the canopy on top of it. Very nice. Looks to be a marble clawfoot bath in the corner. That definitely looks like she's not hurting for any comforts. You see she's got a little armoire, like clothing armoire on the side. It's really all you can see from just looking in the doorway. You can see there's another doorway on the other side that seems to lead, given the shape of the house, you're assuming leads down another hallway across the house.
Alright, I will, I'll try and scamper back in the leftmost direction, in the lefterly direction at the top of the stairs.
Okay. Easy enough to get across. Again, it doesn't seem like there's you're not seeing a whole lot of guards wandering around here.
Mm-hmm.
As, again, you're poking around, you've got a couple of smaller rooms. You can hear what sounds to be like kitchen staff off of one door on the second floor to the right. I can hear them talking about prepping some sort of meal. As you make your ways down a little further, you can see a set of double doors on the left-hand side down the end of the hallway. Let's get a little closer. Doors are closed. You don't hear anything coming from it as you sort of look at it. Best you can tell, just sort of glancing at it quickly, it does appear to be locked.
Okay. I don't have anything I can do about that. I will just take note where it is. And I guess based on my scampering about, is there like a wing of the house somewhere that I feel like I haven't gotten to?
from what you can see, you would probably know there's a little bit more beyond this locked door that you can't get into. You don't know if it's just like one overly large, like massive room, or if it's a smaller hallway that leads into a couple of other rooms. But you get the feeling like there's a little bit more behind there that you haven't gotten to yet. But in terms of the meat and potatoes of the first floor, you got through. Again, you saw most the same as what they saw in there. Some of the rooms have a couple of small locked cases that look like they have things on display. You see little bits of jewelry, but it's hard to really tell without getting in there to see what it would be worth. Upstairs, you saw her own personal bed chamber side. And then as you're looking around the other things, you've got the kitchen area and their staff, and then whatever's behind this sort of locked section of the house.
So this is a personal house, and she runs business out of it. But
Yeah,
it's not like...
it seems like it's a little bit of both from Jack's
so
perspective.
It's an office
Again,
slash house.
yeah, it's it's like she has her office in one section of it, but it's for the most part it looks like it's just the residence for the Viceroy.
Okay.
But she's turned this one interior room into an office to meet with visitors.
Okay. Cool. All right. Is Jack gonna inspect anything? I lost his video.
Yeah, I just lost Jack too. Are you still with us, Jack? Anything else you'd be doing as you're poking around? I think we may have actually just literally lost Jack.
Yeah.
So what we will do then is we're gonna basically finish up with Jack sort of creeping and poking around. So what we will do is leave off there as the party will start slowly to make their way back together when we get back together again next week. But before we disappear, unfortunately, Snowman didn't get a chance to use the D20 this week, but we have to decide who's going to get the nat 20 for next time.
Olive just unplugged in my router.
Sid, what happened?
His dog just unplugged his router.
Aww.
Fido says, "Screw you, boss. I'm cold. Get off the internet."
Oh, Olive. Okay. I vote for Artemis for getting all the books and the knowledge, because they really did well with the roleplay in the shop there.
I was gonna vote for Jack for just like having that conversation with Art about learning common and stuff. But
And the idea to scout around the
yeah.
I pretend.
under
How
guise
angry
of-
I am. I
Just
had
in time.
the best bit where she was going to go to the bathroom and use the decanter of endless water
Oh my god.
to drop a gallon of water into like the privy.
Oh.
And my dog unplugged my router.
Oh, Olive.
But we actually had a couple of votes for Jack to get the nat 20 for next week.
Oh,
So
hey,
given that little piece, I think that would have tipped it over. Because that would have been hysterical. So we're going to toss our nat 20 over at Bitter Jack for next time when we all get together. I'm going to drop that up here. As our party is currently deep within the Lady Dorison's abode. As Jack is now within the privy. And there is a somewhat concerned older man staring horrified towards the privy door, just hearing this whoosh of water pouring out from this tiny little halfling.
Oh dear.
So don't forget, folks, as you're creeping around a noble lady's house, remember to lie to the guard and say you have to use the bathroom. Bring your decanter of endless water with you. And don't forget to add your proficiency bonus. We'll see you next week, folks.
Bye.
Bye.